Hello there people, this is Brucey or Bruce, and we are back on Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Decade Duels with another gameplay and my smooth voices commentary. And this is another match against KiNg 187X. I don't know how, but we just got into the conversations of deck types and stuff, and after the last round we decided to have insect versus insect, as you don't really get to see it much on the gameplay of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Decade Duels, especially as there's not as much support as the card game actually allows, which is the case with most of these deck types, unfortunately. I mean, don't even get me started on the Infinities. But yeah, as you can tell from my starting hand, I haven't really spent too much time on this deck perfecting it. I mean, Marshmallow as an insect? Yeah, I perhaps could have thought of better for that, but hey, you can't really go wrong with Marshmallow when you're trying to figure out things in your deck, to be honest with you. So yeah, on with the show. Howling Insect face down, and I do love Howling Insect. End of the day, you get to choose between. This is if you run an insect deck or are thinking about one, by the way. If someone's attacking you, you can wait until the last Howling Insect is destroyed and then bring out an ultimate insect level 3 if you wanted to. That's the beauty of that over like Giant Rat or Flying Kamakiri. But hey, you know, end of the day, do what you guys fancy. So yeah, this was quite good here. As you can see, he summoned Breaker, you know, Chain of Dust Tornado, and got rid of Dimensional Prism. And here I was thinking to myself, should I be cheeky and lay a Giant Trunade? You know, try and do it as a bit of a dummy. And surprise, it actually worked. I didn't actually think he had an MST in his hand, but I totally called it. So that was quite lucky. And even he said, "Oh, what a dummy," you know. So that's some good play there. Can't blame that, really. So he's going to obviously go on for the attack. Sees the Howling Insect, and this is what I'm talking about. You see what you can choose from here. You can choose between Earth and Wind. Here you go, between more Howling Insects or the Ultimate Insect level 3. You know, notice there I've only got 2 there because unfortunately I've only won 2 in the actual game itself. But hey, so what you're going to do? And you know, I like to think this was a fairly good play actually by KiNg here. He decided not to attack the other Howling Insect. He knows that, you know, if he was to have the last attack, there'd be an Ultimate Insect level 3, and then by my turn level 5, which would put him in a bit of trouble. So fair play to him there, definitely. And I believe here we go for the attack again, don't we? Yeah, there we go. Another Howling Insect, but you know, had to play the Mirror Force. End day, get rid of 2 cards for the price of 1. Why not? Why not? So yep, there he goes. 2 face down. End of day, in this situation, even though I don't have really much in the way of spelling trap removal in my hand, apart from the Solemn Judgment, although I can't play that in this turn, I always think it's a wise idea to always attack. End of day, you've either got to spring the traps, or you're giving your opponent time to draw cards. So do remember that when you're facing people. You've got no choice but to spring traps in this game. That's the best, some of the best advice I can give you, really. So on with the show here. What's he? Can't remember what he has at this point. I don't think he has anything again, actually. Yeah, it's another spell or trap. So perfect for me. I'm thinking, okay, well, he didn't stop anything last time. Let's just go for the Howling Insect and yeah, try and take another 1200 off him. But unfortunately for me, KiNg decides enough is enough. And unfortunately for him, he did waste his Mirror Force on 1 card, but you know, at the moment, with the way things are going, he would have kept taking a beating, especially if I'd have drawn another monster. Then that would have been even better for his Mirror Force, but he had no choice at that point. Notice here as well that this is quite a good game in the fact that there's not tons of ridiculous effects going on, like Dark Arm Dragon, Allure Darkness, blah blah blah. To me, this round here reminds me of like the good old days of Yu-Gi-Oh, where you know the most you'd get is a 2x chain, really. And other than that, it's just beating the heck out of each other, really. I'm not sure if you guys think the same and are a bit nostalgic like me, but I must admit this does take me back. So here we see him, Insect Knight into the Marshmallow. At this point he's like, why the hell is this in the deck, man? But hey, you know, what you gonna do? So here I'm not really drawing into any monsters. I believe all I've had is the Howling Insect, Marshmallow, and I've got this dead Ultimate Insect level 7 in my hand. And unfortunately, once you've got something like that in your hand, there's no way to really get rid of it. Not unless you've got a card with a discard as a cost. And even then, you don't really want to be doing that on, say, one card, really, like an Insect Knight, rather. But hey, nothing can go through my Marshmallow yet, so I'm happy enough just to set things for now until I get a monster. Unfortunately, you know, yes, I am stalling, but in this case, it saved my backside, really, having this monster which can't be destroyed by battle. But here I think, okay, now's the time really to get the Marshmallow, but you know, I thought, you know what, let's take a gamble with the MST. I don't want to run into another bottomless trap hole just for the sake of summoning, and you know, pot luck really, I hit his bottomless trap hole. You know, how much greater, how much more luck could you need other than that? So here we go, finally some action is going to happen. Ultimate Insect level 5. And here he decides to do a Torrential, I believe. Is it a Torrential? Yeah, Torrential Tribute. Which, yeah, it does put him one down. But end of the day, by the looks of things, he wouldn't have had anything to stop my attack. So at this point I thought, yes, 4,000 life points is a lot, but I want to stop this Torrential Tribute and keep a monster on field. So with any luck, going into the battle phase, we'll just do a simple attack, and it goes through. Awesome. So my read was right on that one. And at this point I was thinking that his other card there was a Solemn Judgment, from the way it was asking each of us, oh, do you want to do this, do you want to do that, while I had a Solemn Judgment, so I kept that in mind. But on with the show. Can't really do too much, might as well go for the level up instead of drawing into another Ultimate Insect level 7. And you know what, that's what I despise about this game. It puts the card in your hand as the first choice. You know, with something like a level deck, you can't just keep pressing A. You have to look for a second and try and get out what's in the deck. And that's another bit of advice there with level decks. Don't summon out what's in your hand. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to draw into a dead card, so get out whatever's in your deck first, and then worry about your hand a bit later. So unfortunately there, even though I got level 7 out, bottomless trap hole, what can I say, he's loving those trap holes there. So Ultimate Insect level 3, why not go for a 1400 beating, puts us even, you know, so very, very close. And turn 17 as well. I mean, this is going on a bit, but hey, it's a good match, it's a good match. Now, Magical Mallet, I was saying to KiNg at this point, I'm not too fond of that card. End of the day, it's nice if you've got a deck which revolves around spells like spell counters and extra drawing power and stuff. But if you don't draw the right thing, then that's, you know, one card down, essentially. You know, you've just wasted a card. For him, though, it looked like it paid off. He got a Doomdozer. I tried the Torrential Tribute, praying that that wasn't as solemn like I thought it was. Unfortunately it was, so bad news for me there, but I've got a Fissure in my hand, so that's not too bad. It's just a case of both of us top decking after this, essentially. And here I was hoping and praying that his Doomdozer wasn't going to get rid of a monster. And at this point, it actually got rid of possibly the best thing at this point, and that was a Heavy Storm. End of the day, you know, yeah, he's got a Spell and Trap face down, but you know, there's nothing where there's mass destruction I can do where I can go 1 for 2 cards or whatever. So, unfortunately, draw a smashing ground here, and we've both got no monsters. You know, awesome. It is literally a case of who will draw the monsters first. Luckily for KiNg, he's developing some awesome Spell and Trap card back row here. And something I should have done, which I was thinking about and didn't, was actually lay Smashing Ground as a dummy in my last turn. So as you'll see here, I'll go for the attack, fair enough. Dimensional Prison, yep, of course my monster goes bye-bye. Which, what can I say, he's clearing my monsters constantly, which was annoying. And because I didn't set this the first time, as soon as I set it, KiNg himself just said instantly, yeah, that's a dud, that's a dummy. And flat out, I couldn't lie, I was just like, yep. Because I knew I made a silly play. It might look good, you know, just setting one after your field being cleared, but if you didn't set the card beforehand, you know, your opponent's going to know. So keep that in mind. You'll know when the time is right for that sort of stuff. Luckily for me, though, he still doesn't know what my face down actually is at this point, so, you know, it had to have him thinking at some stage. And yes, Lightning Vortex, I did not expect that to be face down whatsoever. And again, clears another one of my monsters. I mean, it seems at this point I can't do anything right in terms of summoning, trying to get rid of him. So, you know, draw into a Monster Reborn, I think, yeah, that's pretty good. And another hint here, I hate to sound like this is just a hints and tips video, but, you know, I might as well throw it out there. Notice I went for Ultimate Insect level 3. That's probably the second best choice to go out of the monsters to reborn, because at the end of the day that would skip under a bottomless trap hole with 1400 attack. What I should have gone for was the Howling Insect, because as he shows here, Book of Moon puts me face down. All he's got to do is attack my Ultimate Insect level 3, and you know, that's it, another monster gone. Whereas if I did Howling Insect, I'd be able to at least draw something else, as we're both top decking. Luckily here though, it didn't matter too much. Now I'm thinking, oh, there's bound to be a bottomless trap hole, it's bound to be a bottomless trap hole. Finally, the round is mine. And he goes and, you know, stabs me one more time. You know, Solemn Judgment on the Ultimate Insect. Luckily, I have drawn an Insect Knight though, so that is this round mine. And wow, what a game. You know, 26 turns, that is a lengthy game. But hey, that's how it was back in the day of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, good old Legend of Blue Eyes, Metal Raiders, going up to Pharaoh's Servant, I believe, and all sorts. But hey, I'm just building up a nostalgic tier here. That's not what you guys are here for, you want some more gameplay. But do comment if you do miss those good old days. Personally, I'd love to see like a tournament again, or something where it's just, you know, the basic cards. I would love that sort of stuff again. So anyway, I digress. So here I'm looking at my deck thinking, well, I've just won. Hopefully I won't need to side deck, so let's just continue. I don't really have anything extra against an insect deck. I mean, you know, who does side deck against insects? No one, that's who. So he has his turn first. I think, yep, you know, round in hand. We'll see what happens with this round before I've got to really start playing. And unfortunately here, this isn't the best of hands. Again, I draw the dead Ultimate Insect level 7. Bearing in mind I've only got 2 of them, that's quite tough luck there. So all I can do at this point, really, I don't want to waste my Plague Spreader Zombie, but it's better than taking a beating. So set the bottomless trap hole, and yeah, await the outcome. So he just goes for the good old attack here, sees the Plague Spreader. Luckily that did save my life points, and if I do draw into a monster, then Plague Spreader Zombies in the graveyard, I can summon something awesome. And here he gets the level 4, the Ultimate Insect level 3 out, so that's quite worrying. Obviously I'd have to get rid of that. Draw into Gigantis, unfortunately. This is where you'll see that some of my deck building skills aren't all they're cracked up to be when I don't spend too much time on deck. At the time I thought, you know, I'd get Earths and stuff, why not? And now here is a really, really easy mistake to make, which I hope you guys learn a lesson here. Now bearing in mind this is from an effect, there's basically something in the chaining where you can't do, I believe it was Solemn Judgment. No, it can't be a Solemn Judgment, it was one of the two. where basically I skipped one thinking that was a Solemn Judgment that I was going to activate, and that I'm going to activate the Bottomless Trap Hole, but it turns out I can only activate one of the cards. So, you know, always check that you can activate the right thing at a time like this, because now I've taken an absolute pasting, you know, for no reason whatsoever. And unfortunately I've got a dead hand. Of course he's going to attack. Yes, I've got 3 face down, and they are pretty awesome face downs. But there's nothing I can do here. Nothing whatsoever. So he goes for the attack. Yep, why not? What have I got here? Yeah, Dust Tornado. Yeah, this is just me being an idiot and stalling. I do apologise for this. There was no point whatsoever. It was just to show that I really had nothing. So, yep, that is a very, very quick and easy round to KiNg 187 here. Kind of disappointed in myself there. I could have had the game going on a bit longer than that. But hey, you know, it's one apiece. Let's redeem myself in the next game, eh? And I got a hand advantage in with having the first turn here. So I think we're having a bit of a chat here from what I remember of my stupidity, really. And, you know, KiNg said, yep, you know, what you're going to do, really. That's the way the game goes. So, obviously, first to go. Let's have a look at my next hand. It can't be that bad. You know, surely it can't be that bad. I've got to have something better than the last hand. And, oh dear. Oh very dear. Oh very, very dear. Now, although these are good cards, and I wouldn't change these for the world, Ultimate Insect level 5 and Doomdozer, this is the stuff that can happen in decks occasionally. It doesn't have to be insects, it could be anything. You could end up with like a Dark Armed Dragon, 2 Malicious, and just spells and traps in your hand, and you can't summon anything for ages. That's just an example there, obviously, but this is just one of those hands, unfortunately. Luckily for me, he only had a Flying Kamakiri out, so praying for a monster that I can summon in my next draw. No, that is a Sylphid. I have to remove a wind type from play to summon that. Can't remember what I'm thinking here. Oh yeah, Dust Tornado again. Because why not? Why not, eh? So, I just let it go. I mean, what can I do, really? What can I do? You know, perhaps I shouldn't have wasted that on the Kamakiri. Oh no, actually, tell a lie, that wasn't too bad, because if I did have something that was to attack him, then, you know, he'd summon out another monster with Flying Kamakiri. And with something like Fissure, if he had something of higher attack than Kamakiri, I wouldn't have been able to use it on that, so might as well get that monster out of the way. And luckily I only took a bit of damage with this Krebons here. So hopefully I can summon something else in my next turn. And I get... oh dear. You again. So that's 3 times drawing into Ultimate Insect level 7 there. Not amazing. And I believe I have to do something next turn, really. You know, because otherwise I'm just dead. So KiNg's quite happy enough, you know, with his Krebons just slapping me silly. And what's this? Another Ultimate Insect level 7. Jesus, I've only got 2 in the deck, yet I just keep drawing into them. Just keep drawing into them. Just can't win either way. So now he's drawing into another monster here, Howling Insect. Now, what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? I have to draw a monster, just something. Anything. Yep, slowly taking the damage. Plague Spreader Zombie. Well, at least it's something I can summon, and I do have the Torrential Tribute face down. Just got to pray he doesn't have a Solemn Judgment if he was to summon something else out. So on this front, when you draw into stuff like this, it is well worth reviewing your deck. I reviewed my deck after this, still haven't fully completed it, my insect deck, but I definitely don't draw into such silly hands like this, like I've removed Sylphid and Gigantis, I think I got rid of one ultimate insect level 7. I might not have, but you know, there you go. Oh yeah, sorry, my mistake, people. That was him who has the torrential tribute, and I've got the bottomless trapper. I was reading into myself. But he's well happy. He's got a monster reborn in his hand. He gets the level 5 out, and that's it. Game. So my apologies for such a sucky draw. I promise that won't happen again in this type of insect deck anyway. But if you guys wanted to leave your comments and views, then please do, and you know, I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave us a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I shall see you guys again soon. Take care.